3.3, meiosis. So question number 1 says, a cell with a diploid number of 12, so diploid number is 2n, a diploid number of 12 chromosomes undergoes meiosis. What will be the product at the end of meiosis? So let's follow this, for example. So if we have 12 chromosomes there, there's an interphase where we make copies of each one of those, but because they're connected by one centromere, they're still 12 chromosomes, but we have 24 chromatids. Then you have the first stage of meiosis, where you have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, where we end up with 2 haploid cells. So one of the definitions of, remember, haploid means half. One of the definitions of meiosis is that it's a reduction division. And the reduction division happens during this stage of meiosis 1. There's 2 stages in meiosis. So here's the first stage of meiosis. And then we have another division where in the end we'll end up with 4 gametes that will be haploid. So this is still haploid here. So we're going to have half the number. So each one of these are 6, but a single molecule of DNA. So I think it gets really confusing. So let's do this whole thing again, but let's look at the different molecules of DNA, or the chromatids. So let me erase that one, erase that one. All right, to redraw those. So instead of looking at all 12 chromosomes to start off, let's just look at one pair. All right, so we're going to look at 6 pairs of chromosomes for a total of 12. So let's look at a blue chromatid, or a chromosome at this point, and a red one. So during an interphase, we make copies of both of them. So you have 2 sticks of DNA, right? However, it's still considered 1-2 chromosomes. These are still homologous. Then we pull them to each side during anaphase. So in one of them, you're going to have 2 blue chromatids. And in the other one, you're going to have 2 red chromatids. We're haploid now because this is 1 chromosome, even though it's 2 sticks of DNA, terminology. And then we divide it out again. One of these reds go to this side, one of those red molecules go to the other. So you have a stick there and a stick there. And the same here, 1 blue and 1 blue. So half of the original number is how meiosis works. Terminology. What does a karyogram show? So this is where we line up our homologous chromosomes so we can count and look for certain genetic disorders. So the best answer there was B. And then question 3, what is the cause of Down syndrome? I think a misconception, or what a lot of people jump to, is this non-disjunction of sex chromosomes. This is not the answer. So non-disjunction, if we're looking at when the cells divide in one of the stages of meiosis, if the situation was normal, one of these chromatids would go to one side and the other chromatid would go to the other. So maybe this is like the egg. So you should have 1 blue one and 1 red one if it was normal. But if there's non-disjunction, 2 of them end up going to the same gamete and the other one is empty. So what happens is, if a sperm is coming over with its 1 copy and fertilizes this egg, you end up with 1, 2, 3 copies of the same chromosome. And 3 copies of a chromosome is called trisomy. And if it's chromosome pair number 21, that will result in Down syndrome. So the correct answer was B.